Welcome in, everybody. Stay with me till the end. I'm going to start a little bit early. Let's go. Let's go.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us the best in her sadness rose, she prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy. She says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be She said, I am who I am, I stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, and she's got a caring heart that won't be turned.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Hey, Raymond. Thank you for being here. Hello, Kimberly. Good morning. Good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Come on in to Smiley's World. You are welcome. Anybody watching in the bushes, hello, hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. Every one of you, every single one of you. Hello, hello. Drop a heart. Tell me where you're from. If you're on replay, you're welcome as well. Share this out, like, hype, whatever you want to do. I appreciate you. Some of you are sleepyheads this morning. I don't blame you one bit. It is Wednesday, April 8th. Can you believe it? 2026. My goodness. I made up my mind this morning, my goal. I put in my goal. You know, I started in Summer Wells' case. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know anything. Just a old girl from in Florida, but from Nashville, Tennessee. At the time, my mom, she was in the hospital at the time having her throat surgery. She wasn't as bad then. She was bad, but she wasn't as bad then, just going in trying to get well. And I saw Summer's case on the news, and I thought, maybe I can be a voice. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Still don't. We learn as we go, but whatever. Didn't think I would ever do another case. But the point of the matter is, I won't bore y'all with all that. Most of y'all know the story. Most of y'all know me. And was never monetized on that. Y'all know that, whatever. But anyway, these goal things, I never really set a goal, cared about any of that. And I just thought a while ago, I thought, what am I, thank you, Raymond. What am I going to set the goals for? Sometimes they're just stupid. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to set my goal for, I think I said it a while ago. See, I don't even know what I set it for. I thought, you know what? I'm tired of going on here and seeing sometimes, I don't keep up with it, but sometimes it shows, hey, wait, what? Good morning, honey. Sometimes it shows some goes and some don't, whatever. It's YouTubey things. Sometimes it's not. And you know what I thought? I thought, you know what? I'm just going to, I don't think I'll make it, but I thought I'm just going to put my goal is 25,000 by June 15th. You know what? I'm not going to stress it. Everybody else begs for it. But I'm telling y'all, just hit that subscribe button so we can get these stories out. Okay? Hit that. Make sure you're not unsubscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Will you? Can you do that? Good morning, chicken lady. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. They say ask and you shall receive, so I'm asking. I'm asking. Y'all stay with me till the end because listen, honeys. Listen, honey bunches of oats, Cheerios in the morning, okay? I know I'm making a little bit of light. This is not a funny case, okay? We are for the victims here. But I'm going to tell y'all, we're going to get our little morning stuff out, our little giggle wiggles, and then we're going to go on. We're going to get serious. But those of you that missed it, honey, okay, I was in court the day that Joseph had his hearing. He was not in there, of course. He wasn't in Bay County long, honey. He didn't want to stay in Bay County, Pay County. He did not want to do that. I'm just saying. But TMZ was not the first one. Of course, I don't ever say I don't care to be first. Look, I got this also follow up with Al Saleen last night. I don't care to be first. I was too tired, honey, after yesterday, what all I did. And I had even talked to one of my mods and said, nah, I'm not even going to come on and put it out. I'll just do it in the morning because I'm tired. I'm going to bed, honey. Well, I got my follow-up email I'll show y'all with Mr. Saleen. And that was last night after 6. He must have been working hard. I don't know if it'll help anything or help any of y'all's questions, but I'm going to put it out. Listen, it doesn't matter that he's representing Joseph. He's a very nice guy. I do personally know him. Okay. But TMZ wasn't the first, honey. I have my video. I will take my camera off because I don't know how I got it on I put it out the first day. I was so excited. Well, yeah, I was excited. I ain't gonna lie. Shut up, Smiley. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Because I act like the paparazzi that day, honey. Although he was going to talk to Judge Clark, he was walking out of the courtroom, and I'm like, Mr. Saleen, Mr. Saleen, Mr. Saleen. Anyway, so it wasn't much. It wasn't little or nothing, but I did talk to him, and he talked to me. I'm going to play that again. It is on my videos, but I don't know how to get it. I guess I could go back to my whatever. I'll show y'all. Hey, Lady for Justice. The point is, he did say he would do a follow-up, and I held him to that, and I wrote him an email, especially after TMZ said, after everybody said, TMZ got the first interview, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. I don't trust anybody who's got, sorry, TMZ. I don't trust anybody who's got a Bitcoin account number. I'm just saying. So, and I don't have to pay for my stuff. So I'm just saying, honey. but they are on the scoop, so I ain't gonna say nothing bad about them. Listen, I better shut up while I'm ahead. I better shut up while I'm ahead. Y'all drop TMZ's link, okay? Drop TMZ's link, Raymond, okay? Can you do that? Can you do that? They got more money than I got hair, okay? Please. Look, I ain't had enough coffee this morning. I'm just saying. Yeah, subscribe to Smiley's World. It's free, honey. It's free. Okay, all jokes aside. How are y'all doing this morning? Let's talk about y'all for a minute, and then we're going to get on with the show. Y'all stay with me till the very end, honey. We got some stuff. And I ain't pulling out my rabbit out of the hole until the end. So y'all better stay with me until the very end. How about that? Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm trying to drink my coffee now. I ain't had enough this morning. I ain't had enough. Y'all, so much stuff is going on in these streets. I just don't even know how to keep up anymore. I really don't. I really don't. All right, I tell y'all what. While y'all don't want to talk to me this morning, I asked y'all how y'all were doing. I know one thing, it's turned cold here again. This is crazy. Doing great. Yay. Got to wash salt off of my truck and get food today. When are you going back to work, Raymond? You said the other day it was 2 weeks. I know 2 weeks haven't passed. Oh my God. You know what? We have pollen here. This pollen is crazy. This pollen is crazy, man. It really is. You know, I wasn't eating for a while. Now I'm starting to eat everything. I need to stop eating. Don't talk about food this morning. Don't talk about food this morning. End of April. Wow. So how long will you be gone on your first trip? Do you know? Do you know yet? Do you know? Do you know? I imagine that first trip is going to be this whole family's crazy. Home every night. Oh, well, good. That is good. That's good. That's the best kind to have. That's the best kind to go, right? That's good. I know Chicken Lady's happy about that. That's good. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. All right, let's watch this first video that I found. And we're going to watch it. It's not very long, but I guess we'll watch it to kind of start the story off. Listen, I do want to say, this. You know, when love blinds you, who pays the price? Who pays the price? I think if you have kids, they definitely pay the price. And let me just be clear. This live is based on discussion, opinion, and publicly available information, and nothing stated here is presented as confirmed fact other than what's out there in public, what the attorneys say. But one thing I will always stand on, if there is any victim in any situation, they deserve to be protected, they deserve to be heard, and they deserve to be taken serious. We stand for the victims here. However, as y'all know, I can listen to anybody. I can talk to anybody, and I try to be fair, especially and until and unless somebody is convicted. We have to remember that everybody is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, and everybody around those people, you can't judge them. I'm just saying. This is a safe place for real talk, respect, and each other, for everybody in chat. And I just want you to be respectful. I want you to drop your thoughts. Everybody has thoughts and opinions. And as we know, public opinion is very different. So, you know, you are welcome to do so. I want you to know that. And there you go. I'm going to leave that up there a minute. And if you or anybody that you know is being abused sexually or otherwise, this is the hotline for RAINN. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can call or chat. Please do that. And then they have the available at rainn.org 24/7. It's confidential and it's free. So please remember that. But let's watch a video. It's not long, and I will do that. And then Amy came out with something, or they came out with something today. We're going to watch that as well. But anyway, let's get to it.
About the Josh Joseph relationship. And I'm not just talking about the fact that these are two Duggar brothers. Now, when most people think about Josh Duggar, we often look at the girls, and for good reason. But there is another very dark, overlooked corner of the Tontitown compound
Full
that we
credit
need to
always
drag back
filtered.
into
Let
the
me put a
light.
little bit of music
Because
on.
as of March 2026, Joseph Duggar has now found himself facing charges, and I believe a lot of that stems back to the buddy system, which was sold to us as some kind of quirky parenting hack. It's not. It looks more like a predator's apprenticeship. Now, just
Thank
for
you,
a bit of
sweetheart.
context, Josh Duggar was born in 1988 and Joseph Duggar was born in 1995. Now, let's get some facts about what happened. So, in between about 2002 2003, the golden boy of this family, Joshua Duggar, was actually a serial predator in his own home. Now, according to the police reports that Jim Bob Duggar denied and lied about, Josh didn't just have some kind of a curiosity. Josh admitting to
Okay, and I want to say this. I have always said the apple does not fall far from the tree. Now, to be fair, and again, we don't have any proof of anything, but I've always said that. I heard something this morning. I don't have it up or anything like that, and I have not read Amy's book, but I did post something. I did share something. Y'all probably saw it. It was on Brzezinski's. Y'all probably saw that, but I don't know how many watched it yet. Anyway, I shared it. Podcast. But anyway, in evidently one of Amy's books, and I definitely would love to read that. It was just explaining, how I guess they were kin. Amy's grandfather was a pedophile that nobody, I guess he was explaining it like allegedly, okay, we're going to say allegedly, that when she was little, you just don't sit on grandpa's lap. You were basically told you're never in the room alone with grandpa. You never, anything, nothing grandpa, okay, alone. You don't play on the trampoline with grandpa. You don't this with grandpa. You don't that with grandpa. Until she just got it out of her mind, that was just a normal thing. And it just, the sky's blue, the grass is green. That's how they described it. And until he died, okay? Until he died. And then everything come out. He was a pedo. And I thought that was pretty sad. Again, I need to read this book. I need to read it for myself. I don't know. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I was listening to that. But evidently, that is Jim Bob's. That was Jim Bob's dad. That was Jim Bob's father. Okay? And it just made me think, hmm. So, I just feel like, Patty, that a lot of things have not come out. Some things people take to their grave. So when you ask that, does she know certain things like that? Things can happen within the family that nobody ever tells, or nobody ever knows, even other family members. Some things people do take to their graves. But when this case come out, I always said at the very beginning, will there be more? We know what happened to the sisters. I didn't even know that until that come out later. I didn't know that. And I was like, geez. And then we heard things that, Jim Bob himself and Michelle had said themselves. So now I hear this and I'm like, my God. So in my opinion, again, I don't know. We don't know. We can't say for a fact. And I've said it before, I'm guessing if I had no choice but to put money on it, I would bet there was. I would bet there was, unfortunately. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning. Having coffee with me. That's right. You sure are. Absolutely. So yeah, if I had to guess, sure would. But that's just my opinion. My opinion don't mean anything. It don't make it true. But let's carry on. That just made me think about that.
Hurted 4 of his sisters and a babysitter. Now, we were sold an idea that Josh was a bit curious and he may have touched them, like, over the clothes. That was all crap. That was all a lie. He was touching these girls very inappropriately under their clothes. They couldn't do anything. This guy was all over them. Can't keep his hands to himself. They'd be sitting on his lap, or like they could be just in the laundry room and he would be cornering them. Now, the consequences for these actions are exactly what you would expect from the Duggar family. So the parents found out about this in 2002, but they didn't call the cops. They didn't call the social services. They didn't do anything like that.
Okay. I have a question. I have a question just like anybody else. I'm just like you, but I'll say it. So if Jim Bob knew, and evidently he did and does know, his own father was like this, and how everything was so secretive and hush-hush growing up or in his house, and even they protected Amy and all the others, okay? Why would he, with his own child, to his other children, give a slap on the wrist? Make it make sense. Eventually, they put Josh on his way, but still, make it make sense. No.
Often wondered, how different would Josh Duggar's life have been if he had got a bit of therapy, like a bit of help along the way? But of course he didn't. Anyway, Jim Bob's version of punishment is basically just to send Josh away and do a bit of work. Again, more lies, because Jim Bob claimed that Josh was in a rehab program in Little Rock. He wasn't in any kind of a program, because Michelle Duggar later admitted to the police that he was actually just remodeling a building for a family friend. So there was no therapy. There was nothing for this guy, just a bit of manual labour and loads of Bible verses, because that makes everything so much better. But they were treating this very serious crime a bit like a spiritual struggle, because they are so obsessed with their girl's market value for marriage. Like, you can't have the truth coming out, that the daughters weren't pure anymore. The family brand, so much more important than the victim's safety. So how the hell does Joseph fit into all of this? Well, that's the buddy system. So the buddy system was introduced when Michelle Duggar had 8 kids. Now, Michelle has spoken about this, and she said she was just overwhelmed with all of these kids. So one would think, you have 8 kids, Michelle. Don't have any more if you cannot look after the kids that you already have. But not the Duggars, okay? Basically what they did was to outsource the parenting to the older kids. So the assignment was, this was mostly put onto the girls. The girls had a large group of kids to look after, but the older boys also had a kid to look after. Ooh, which is terrifying. Josh, being the oldest, he got a buddy, and his buddy was Joseph. Oh, now at the time, when Josh was a teen, right, Joseph, a very young child, now in their world, in the IBLP world, a buddy isn't just your helper, they are a spiritual authority. So Joseph was under Josh's direct physical and moral supervision for years. For years this was going on. While the sisters were being warned to stay away from Josh, Joseph was being told to follow Josh, do what Josh does. Like, Josh is a great leader for you. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this family was on telly. They're getting a bit of money, and they decide.
So Joseph, what did she say, was told to watch? Follow him or whatever. He was no role model. He was no role model. He was nobody to look up to. Everybody knew. Her title is very clear, and it's very on point. Look at that. Everybody knew and nobody helped. Everybody knew and nobody helped. She couldn't have named that any better.
That they're going to build a big house. So they move into the big house in 2006. Now, if you want proof that Jim Bob Duggar knew exactly that Josh was a danger, just look at how this house was built. This house wasn't a home. This was a high security containment unit. If you just look at the layout of the bedrooms, we have the girls' bedroom, okay? It's just one massive dormitory. So everybody is sharing, from Jana right down to Josie, all of these older kids and these babies all sharing this huge dormitory. Why? This place is huge. They could easily have a bedroom to themselves, but they don't. They are kept on one side of the house. Now, on the other side of the house is another massive dormitory with all the boys in them. Now, to get from the boys' part to the girls' part of the house, you have to walk like a catwalk. Now, this catwalk is visible from the living room, but you also have to pass directly by Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's bedroom. This tells me that these parents knew exactly what Josh was doing. They knew that he was a problem. They knew that this guy was a predator, and they did not care. Now, they built like a fortress around the girls because these people are obsessed with female purity. But here's the kicker, right? They're so homophobic and so gender rigid that they literally could not conceive of a male-on-male threat. So they locked the sisters away, but they left the younger boys, specifically Joseph, who was his buddy. They left this child in a room with a known predator every single night. To the Duggars, the risk was only like a heterosexual saying, we can't have the girls being touched. He didn't care about the boys' safety. I don't even believe that he cared about the girls' safety. He just cared about these girls remaining virgins until he could marry.
And listen, I'm just going to be real with y'all. In my about can't talk. In my about section, sometimes I'm real, sometimes I get raw. Well, today I'm going to get raw just for a split second. Don't you ever think, I don't care if you're married, if you're straight as a doornail, but don't ever think little boys are not curious with other little boys when they're locked in rooms, especially when they turn out to be what they are. You know, use your imagination. I'm sorry. Josh seemed like it just was not, he was not safe no matter what his family thought around these other kids. And they ignored these signs. They didn't protect, in my opinion, any of these children. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Him off because he's a terrible, terrible human being. And now we are seeing the fallout because in March of this year, Joseph was arrested. I'm telling you, the apple didn't just fall from the tree, it was grown in a greenhouse of grooming. Imagine yourself being Joseph, being say like 10 years old, and your buddy is Josh.
Hello,
you have to share a room with this guy, a bathroom. You watch as your parents are protecting him. After he hurt your sisters, you watch him become a big TV star and a political lobbyist with your father. Feckin' hell. So you have to think about this realistically. The lesson that Joseph learned was, well, you're a bit of a predator. It's just kind of a mistake. You can pray it away. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Joseph Duggar didn't just live with a predator. He was mentored by a predator. He saw that in the Duggar world, you can basically do whatever the hell you want to do, and you will eventually get rewarded for it. With a big, huge TLC wedding, your father will sort you out with your own Carla. Oh, that's a whole different story. Now, let's be real, okay? The Duggar family system isn't broken. It has worked exactly how Jim Bob Duggar designed it. It was meant to create a self-policing cult where the patriarch is God, and these kids, they're basically just assets. Now, the consequences for Josh Duggar in 2002 should have been, in my opinion, a lifetime ban from being around any minor children. But instead, the Duggar parents gave him a platform, but they also gave him a buddy. They basically traded Joseph's safety for an appearance of a perfect family on the telly, because these people were so big.
And I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but I also, early on in this case, had saw at least one of the sisters that had been abused say, after this come out, I forgot which one it was, but, you know, and I think this was before even Kendra got arrested, was talking about, and one of y'all, you know, you might know and can put it in there, I don't care, but was talking about, she said, you know, she had obligations to do some filming. Now, I know this is not being filmed anymore, but I don't know what they're filming or what they're doing. But, you know, I even know after the one brother had come out and he was really pissed, and I was very proud of him, had made a statement, finally, you know, it seems that it's been broke that even him is running some businesses or whatever for Josh that his dad had sent over through an email. You would be very proud of your brothers and sisters and how, you know, all that bullshit. So why? Not Josh, I mean Joseph. So why I mean, this is crazy. And I would have loved to have been a little fly on that table at the airport that day when his daddy came to pick him up. What was he saying to his dad? You know, there's so many moving parts to this, so many. But y'all stay with me. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. I got something to share with y'all here shortly. Let's just continue watching. I just have my thoughts, and I have to pop them out when I get them.
Busy fighting the gay people. The gay people are predators. They're so busy fighting against that agenda outside their doors that they didn't look inwards and see that they were feeding their own son to an actual monster in the bunk bed right beside him. Now I know, as adults, that we all have to make our own decisions. We grow up, we know better, and we do better. That's the standard we hold for every adult, we do. But there is a caveat. How can anybody truly know better when all they have been taught is what Michelle and Jim Bob Duggar want you to know? When your buddy is a literal wolf that your parents are opening the door and bringing into you. Fucking hell, knowing better. It's not really a choice for these. It's a miracle to me that all of these kids, all of these girls grew up to be as normal as they did. I have to give them some credit for that. I really do. Lads, I know this is a very heavy topic, but I do have to say something. I have seen that people are trying to out the victim, Joseph's victim. I don't know why people are doing that. This is a child. Leave her the hell alone.
Yeah.
She was very brave to come forward and talk about the things that have happened to her. How disgusting is that to try and name this person? We're not naming and shaming a victim. No. Keep your anger where it should be. For the Duggars that do bad, and for the Duggar parents. Anyway, lads, that is it from me for today. I know this is a very heavy topic, but...
All right, go sign up to her. And she's right. It don't matter who the victim is. It don't matter if it was family. We already know it's within the family, not the victim. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's happened within the family. So it doesn't really matter. The victim is the victim at the end of the day. Okay. I do think it is disgusting. And, I wasn't even going to get into that matter that, or maybe I will, but not right this second, that, about her family, her mom and dad, Kendra's, is being made move from the house. We'll get into that at another time. It's just disgusting. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Again, stay here. We're still going to talk about when I talked to Al Saleen outside the courtroom doors. And then we're going to talk about, because if you haven't seen it, maybe I can pull it up online. I don't know, but I'm going to let you listen to it. It was too big for some reason. I don't know what happens to mine. To put it in my email attachment, which is how I like to do these. But anyway, I got an email from him last night at after 6 o'clock. I guess he was working late, and he was kind enough to answer all my questions. So no, TMZ was not the first one to talk to him, but whatever. We're going to go over that, but I do want to go over a couple of more things on this. Let's listen to this one. This is the one Amy come out with, or they come out with. I just saw it today. I think they come out with it yesterday, about 16 or 17 hours ago. Amy. And this is Access Hollywood. Please make sure you drop their link. Please make sure you drop their link and y'all go sub up to that. This is who Amy is talking to, Access Hollywood. And give them a thumbs up, which I did. Make sure you're subscribed to them. And let's hear what Amy has to say. This is cousin Amy.
Us and speaking with me today. I just want to say, I can't imagine how this situation is for you and for those that are
I think
affected
Amy's
with what is
very,
going on.
very
Can you
pretty.
walk me through what your reaction was when you found out the news about Joseph being arrested and subsequently entering a plea of not guilty?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think the first initial shock of just who it was took me. Oh, look, I'm still having trouble digesting that because I was very close to him at a certain time, growing up and filming and all the things. And so I cannot imagine him behind bars. I can't imagine him hurting a little girl. It's really hard to really realize who it is. But when I realized that he said that he was guilty and then he's taking back his statement and saying that he's not guilty, I feel like that is him trying to minimize the situation and the crime. And I want justice to be served.
And then could you also share what your reaction was? Because Kendra was also arrested on separate charges. What was your reaction to that? I feel like that really shocked a lot of the world.
We've never seen any kind of female from this family ever get arrested. And I think that was a huge shock. I think it hurt everyone's heart. We still don't know the extent of why she was arrested and what the charges really are and what that holds. So there's a lot of speculation, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let law enforcement handle the investigation and handle all that. But I will tell you that my heart goes out to their kids.
And there also have been reports Kendra is reportedly preparing to run Joseph's business. She reportedly rented out her own home in order to secure a $600,000 bond. Do you think she's going to stand by Joseph through all of this?
Okay, let all the fair use.
I will just say that
copyright
in
disclaimer.
Family systems like this, it is a sin to divorce.
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is where I'm going to exercise my fair use for criticism. I'm not criticizing Amy. I'm going to tell y'all something. I like Amy. I liked her from the very start. I don't care what she's leaking. I don't care who she's talking to. I like Amy. Okay? I don't agree with a couple of things Amy is going to go on to say in here, and I'm going to stop it again in a minute. I'm sure I will, because I had a thought on what she said about Kendra earlier. And the part where she said she feels Joseph was dismissing Kendra on the phone calls. Oh, heck no, honey. Maybe just me and you, and I mean, Kendra, Joseph are not the same, but I'm hoping that's the phone call I got pulled up, because, honey, I don't think you could shut that witch up. Listen, she wasn't letting him get a word in edgewise on the phone. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Yeah, Amy, I like Amy, though. Val. I do. She was all up in it. But I do like Amy. It's something about her I do like. I'm just saying, girl. I'm just saying. But I will say, I think she's doing a lot of the leaks. Yeah, I can't wrap my head around harming these kids either. Absolutely, Andrea. No way, no shape, no form. But I don't agree with her on that, so I'll probably stop it again on that. But also, I just don't, I don't know, man. What she's saying here is like, I just got to shake my head at it. So be prepared for me to stop it again. Just be prepared.
No matter what it is. And so I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I don't think she will divorce him, just like Anna has not divorced
That
Josh.
part.
I think it's a
she will.
pattern where they're going to stand by their man no matter what. And I wish that wasn't going to be the outcome.
Your mom issued a statement saying she thinks that Kendra should break up with him. Do you agree with your mom? It sounds like you do, based on what you just shared.
My mom and I are a team. Not only just my roommate, but also one of my closest best friends. You know, the way we grew up is she protected me, and I want Kendra to protect her kids. And I 100% agree with my mom. I think she was very strong for speaking out. And I think that there is so much more to the story that we just don't know yet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you spoke out on social media about the call that they had between Kendra and Joseph. Why was that something that you wanted to speak out on?
Here we go. I disagree here.
I'm just like everyone else hearing these jail calls, and I am shocked and disgusted by the things, just how Joseph dismisses Kendra, in my opinion. He only talks really about himself. There's a lot of things that I'm like, wait, what kind of...
Okay. I disagree there 100%. Now, I don't know. I agree with Amy on a lot of stuff. I like Amy, but I don't know what kind of phone call she was hearing, honey. Now, y'all don't have to agree with me. We can agree to disagree, but put a 1 in here if y'all agree with her on that. Put a 2 if you disagree with her on that. I don't think he was being dismissive. I don't think he could get a freaking word in edgewise, and I'm not taking up for him. I'm not taking up for her. I'm thinking she was acting like an over talkative schoolgirl that was acting like she was 16 years old, and then she was like, in the one phone call, do you love me? Do you still love me? Do you love me? Kiki, do you love me? I mean, my God, what? I got a lot to say about that phone call. A lot. So I don't know if she literally heard all the phone calls. I don't know if she was talking about him being dismissive in the one that Kendra started crying. I don't know what is going on here, but that's the one I disagree. I disagree in these. This is nonsense. But don't get me wrong, Amy. I do like you. I do agree with you on a lot of things, but that, I don't know what was going on that day. I don't think he was being dismissive. I think somebody, and I think your mama really does need to go over there and knock some sense into Kendra, but you know what? Kendra is 100% wrong. Kendra knew some stuff was going on. Kendra wasn't right for them locks on the door, and anybody else, no matter who it was, you, anybody else that knew or was in that house, them locks was on the door, is wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, let me get back to the program. Okay.
Marriage, what kind of relationship is this? And that's just my own personal opinion, but it seems there's a lot of questions about what has happened between them and what is going to take place now.
Now, you seem pretty shocked by all of this, as you mentioned. Do you think anyone in the family could have seen all of this coming? I feel like a lot of the public was also shocked by all this news.
Yeah, I think everyone was
Yes,
shocked.
yeah.
I don't know who knew of the incidents before they
Kendra?
happened or what has happened
I don't
in the
know.
past.
I don't
But I
know.
do know that they have minimized crimes before and try to sweep it under the rug and act like nothing exists
But
or it's not that
afraid
bad
you
and all
get
of that.
out.
I think they're trying to soften the blow.
But I don't know that maybe.
But I
oh,
think
I
that,
don't know.
like I said, I think it's a question mark right now,
She
and
don't
more will
seem to
come
have
out.
right. Listen,
Mhm.
honey.
Now, there's also been
This is
news
just
that
my
Jim Bob
opinion.
and Michelle are
I don't know because I can't say that for a fact. Was she afraid? You know, this is, in my opinion, a cult-like situation. So maybe. Maybe. But the kids are gone now. So she could choose her kids now. I don't think she's going to choose her kids now. I don't think she will choose her kids now. I agree with Amy on that. I don't think she's going to choose her kids now. She's already preparing to run his business. I would be preparing to, if I knew and if this was a fact, well, all I'm going to say is, you ever watched that movie, Farrah Fawcett? Burning Man? I'm just saying. Listen. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you believe in God, you can believe He can get you out of there. She's praying that they stay together. I'm just saying. She's asking Joseph, do you love me after her kids are taken? She's asking Joseph, do you love me? What I got to say on that is, I don't think you want to know. I'm not sure I should say that on here. But you know me, I go over the line sometimes. Maybe I'll get to that in a minute. Let me carry on first, because I have some things to show y'all. Let me get on with it.
Are, quote, heartbroken for Joseph. Their statement
Y'all hit that
continues
thumbs
saying,
up.
quote, right now they are focused on loving
up,
their family and
subscribe if
helping
you're not
Kendra and her
subscribed.
children
Now go
during this
with
difficult
25,000
time.
by
They are praying for the
people.
victim. What do you make of their reaction to the situation?
I don't really pay too much attention to it, honestly. I don't understand as a parent how you can support and love a pedophile if that is the case. Allegedly, that is what is being sentenced. I don't think I could ever love someone that hurts a child. And my heart goes out to the actual victim of Joe, and hopefully there's not many more.
Mm-hmm. And
Hopefully
I also know
there's
that
not
you've
many
spoken
more.
about that you have
Hold
have
on.
a closer relationship with Jill.
I must have missed that part today. She said, hopefully there's not many more. Hopefully there's not many more. Wow, that says a lot. Listen, I've always said through this, I wonder if there will be more to come out. She just said that. Y'all heard it. I hope there's not many more. You know what? I hope there's not any more. And you know what? I don't feel that this is the end of it. Whether it stops with Joseph, meaning any more men or women in the family. She says this is the first woman that's ever been arrested in the family, okay? But that don't mean it's going to be the last. Or will there be more children to come out outside of the family or inside of the family? Whether it be now or years from now. This is very sad. And if you are being abused or know anybody who's being abused, you need to be strong. You need to speak up, because there is help out there. Well, Jason, I think he's the one that spoke out loud. He was really pissed, if I'm not mistaken. But again, sometimes people are just in sheep clothing. I don't know. Yep, you see something, you say something. I'd rather be wrong, especially when it comes to a child, than, you know. But that's what she said. Oh my God.
Jill and Derek, they've also spoken out about this. Have you been in contact with them or anyone else in the family since this news broke?
Yes, I have reached out to Jill. We have shared a lot with each other. I have reached out to the Caldwells, Kendra's parents, as well. I think it's just a really, really sad, disappointing, disgusting situation. And like I said, I think more will come to light.
Yeah. And we all know what happened in the past with Josh. Do you think there's a reckoning within the family as a whole now that there could be allegedly maybe a pattern? Like this seems like strange that it happened more than once, allegedly.
Yeah,
right. I do email believe that it's not just one isolated incident
Smiley
anymore.
Story,
now it's
two,
a second brother that is experiencing and hurting a child and, doing despicable things, heinous crimes. And I do believe that there's a pattern. I do believe that it needs to be broken in our family. I do believe that there's a generational trauma that's never been healed from, and I bring it up in my book. I brought it up in Holy Disruptor, that I really believe that it stems from my grandpa. And even before that, my grandpa's grandpa, and it's gone down this line. And I hate that it has taken power on that side of the family, but I will just say that the cycle has broke over here on my side, and I am just praying for the victim and praying for justice. And I think honestly, Florida is going to throw the book at him.
Hey, Florida is going to throw the book at him.
I know that
we're going to get to that in a minute. And I talked to Al, and there's a reason that I asked Al what I asked
out on these types of topics.
He's going to get some prison
time. You really found your voice in these types of dark situations. How have you found the strength to continue getting there, sharing and speaking out about these types of things?
Hit the thumbs up, subscribe.
Well, thank you for saying that. It is really hard. You can't see, but I'm holding my hands very hard right now because these are really tough situations.
There's a reason I asked the questions I ask.
I will use my voice for good. Time. I want to help as many people as possible. And so if this conversation with you, Stephanie, helps one person out,
I know anybody in Lake County knows
and being like, wow, there's even some similarities to what's happened to me, or I wish I could have a voice. Maybe I could speak up. I want to be
that's
that
why
light for
Kendra
that's hurting out there, because just because my family was on TV and the spotlight was shown on them and it's showing all this terrible darkness, there's other families that are experiencing the same exact thing, if not worse.
You might go to jail.
And we all have to speak up. We all have to use our voice for good, and
or something probably.
Mm-hmm. And has your faith been something that's helped you throughout these times like this, being able to speak up and be an advocate for people who maybe are too scared to speak up for themselves?
Yeah, my faith has gotten me through so much, and it's true faith. It's actually walking the walk and talking the talk, and my actions and my words line up. And I think in this family and a lot of toxic family cycles, the words and actions don't line up. And that's what you have to look at.
Good morning, Wesley.
As you know, it's so terrible because they have been known for hiding, lying, and, minimizing the situation. And I'm just not going to do that.
Mm-hmm. And what advice would you give to others who are maybe similar to you, trying to break out of a toxic cycle within a family structure or a religious structure like
this? It's just one S.
I think you just have to
Smiley Story.
Take one step at a time. Go to counseling.
That's not
go to actual counseling. The IVLP does not want anyone to speak to anyone outside of their closed system because it exposes what's going on. And so I think the first thing I would tell them is run to a counselor. Talk to them about the things that you've seen, what you don't understand, and start questioning what you've been taught. I think that's what I had to do, is I had to look at all of these things of why everything was the way it was. And I realized that it was completely about control and self-image and money, and it had nothing to do with actual
there you go.
of a person.
Well, I do think that you being an advocate and speaking out has helped so many people, especially with your book.
Okay.
I've read a lot of the online reactions of people who've read
I'm
this
on mute
book and really
just
felt
a minute. I
seen
gotta go to
through
the
your
potty.
words. What has it meant for you seeing those types of reactions to sharing about such difficult topics?
Honestly, when I wrote this, I was talking to my editor and I literally said, I don't know if anyone's going to actually read this book. I've never really felt seen at all. I've never felt like that I was very understood. I always felt misunderstood, honestly. And so when this book came out and I had so many emails and my inbox is full of just loving and support and encouragement, I feel seen. And so I feel like I'm not alone in this, and I wasn't crazy, and I wasn't the black sheep after all. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to really share my story, and I hope it helps others.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I know this is a very heavy topic, a very hard thing to speak out on. So I'm really grateful that you took the time to speak with me. And I feel like you having a voice for people who maybe are too scared to speak out is really helpful for them in these types of situations. So I really do thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to do the best that I can to support them and just say, like, it's okay to speak out. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, you're going to expose lies and expose crimes, and it's worth it.
Okay, y'all go sub up to them, and that was the scoop on that. But yeah, I mean, I like Amy, but I disagree about the phone calls. You know, I think Kendra Duggar has and is crossing a lot of lines. If you ask me, you know, I don't feel sorry for Kendra. I don't. I think she thinks of love for all the wrong reasons. I think, you know, she loves her man for all the wrong reasons. And I think she's standing by her man for all the wrong reasons. And I think it's insane, in my opinion. And, you know, she said in one of the jail calls, I'm not doing well. I'm sickly. No one in, you know, in my blunt opinion, and y'all know I have blunt opinions, you know, only she got half of that right. You know, she said, do you love me, baby? Oh my God. Val, you made me do this. I'm sorry. My thoughts on that is, to me, in my raw opinion, she's sick, all right. In my opinion, she needs to check herself in a hospital, one of those kind of hospitals, yesterday. That's not normal, y'all. You know, you could take that several ways. One, does he still love you, girl? You know, he was accused, although he has not been convicted. Let's get that straight yet. But remember, he said himself, he had impure thoughts. You know, whatever. My point is, girl, if you hear this, Kendra, to me, you're saying you're so jealous of a 9-year-old victim at the time, allegedly, at that time, that you have to question if your husband loves you. That's sick. That's sick. That's gross. That's right. Or is there other memories or triggers or people, places, and things running now through your head that you're having to question? You know, it seems to me that you're the one with the impure thoughts. My God. That you should be so worried about, does your husband love you? You need to snap out of it. in my opinion. You have more things to worry about. I would be more worried about what else is to come out. Is there anything else that's going to come out with anybody? I would be betting, in my opinion, that it might. This is not the first time, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I don't think it will be the last, as I said, in my opinion. But Kendra wants to whine, and this is where I disagree with Amy. Kendra wants to whine like a 14-year-old schoolgirl who has children and married and should be an adult, trying to handle businesses. She has adult issues. I think right now she just has issues. And this is not to be beaten up on her, but she's trying to be coddled by somebody who has these alleged serious charges on them with boo-hoo, do you love me? He right now can't even take care of himself. And neither one of you can take care of your kids or be around your kids. Frankly, in my opinion, what I got out of any of these phone calls, she would not let him get a word in edgewise. And then they were talking about her mom and her dad and her sisters and brothers being kicked out of the house, and then they both was laughing about it. That's crazy, in my opinion. What? That's sad. Again, as we just heard Amy say, and my understanding from other people, her aunt, Amy's mom, has even told her she needs to divorce Joe, but she chooses not to. Whether that's her religion or not, I don't know. I'm not going to knock anybody's religion, but she chooses not to listen and is happy to stand by her man. I don't think that's what Tammy Wynette meant exactly when she had in mind with her song or her message, stand by your man, with impure thoughts that he said he had towards children, period. Just saying. I think this is going to be real messy. And another thing I want to address, and y'all stay with me till the end. I'm going to tell y'all about this attorney thing. Just stay with me. This indigent thing. While he was in Bay County Jail, when he went to court, let's address this just a second. Okay? Because me or you would be under the jail. They would come back as fraud. Okay? Let's just get this out of the way because Smiley's going to tell it and I don't care. And his attorney knows it. But, you know, his attorney didn't take the pen and write it. Okay? Let's just address this for a minute. And it happens every day with inmates, okay? But if they wanted to come back, or if the bond company A1, which by the way, there's a letter sent out yesterday that was posted, but it's private. Nobody can even see it, even though it's public. It's, well, y'all can just go on there and look at it for yourself. Because, honey, I'll be posting everything. But it wasn't no need to post it because it was only sent to Joseph's post box and it's not readable. But his bond company sent that. I don't know what that's all about, but whatever. He breaks his bond, honey. He's coming back until his trial is over. Let's just get that straight. But anyway, let's get this straight. I was in the courtroom. I was in there, okay? Couldn't film live, had to do a couple of videos because the one, whatever, he come over and stopped me. although I had permission to be in there and video, okay, they had it set up. You have to have the link, whatever. The sheriff's department, let me get this straight again, had already called me at 7 o'clock that morning and told me, yes, you can go in and film. She was sitting behind me, and I tried to tell that cop that it's on my video, the bailiff, whatever he is. It's on my video. So anyway, I told him, I said, look, yes, I can. But anyway, I ain't trying to go to jail or be thrown out, okay? But he interrupted right about the time they were setting bail, and I turned it off. As soon as I turned it off, I didn't realize that was the lady behind me that had gave the permission, and she told that cop, she said, yes, she jumped up and said, yes, she can turn it back on. I turned around and looked, and I turned my video back on and started taping. I was like, nah, boo, whatever. No, it wasn't. I just turned it back on. It's like, oh, she can? Yes, she can. I told you so, whatever. I told you so. So you have to go. Get out of my face. No, I didn't. Anyway, I was real respectful. So I turned it back on. And anyway, it was over. And as I was walking out, Al Salim was in front of me. And I was like, hey, Mr. Salim. So we're getting there. But anyway, let's get to the indigent part. What I'm trying to tell you is, I heard it for myself when I was in there. The judge asked him, and he said, or his attorney said, in fact, they do not want a public defender. In other words, they want a private paid lawyer. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I know for a fact Al Salim is not doing this pro bono. He don't have to tell me that. He don't have to tell me anything. But Al is not doing this pro bono. Take it for what you will. He's a good attorney, and he don't play about his money. I'm going to tell you that. But Joseph, come to find out, and the paper's out there, I also posted it. Raymond, I also posted it. There's a piece of paper in there where Joseph signed, he's indigent. When you're indigent, you ain't got shit. So I thought, well, everybody thought his daddy was going to put up the $600,000 bond. That ain't what happened. It come out that Kendra did that. If they was smart, they would have said, even if it was a little white lie, his daddy did it. But that's not what they said. They're bragging all over the place that Kendra did it. Kendra's selling everything. Kendra's selling this, that, and other. Well, let me tell you something. You don't, after the fact, sell your assets. You don't, after the fact, rent your house out. You don't, after the fact, do this, that, and the other. So they some dumb people. I'm just saying, in my opinion. I can have my thoughts and opinions. So how was they? That's a lie and that's fraud. That's a lie and that's fraud. And guess what else? So they have income from their business, not like me and you, honey. They have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and they have income from their rent. If I got out there and got in jail in Bay County, which is where I'm from, they're going to, and if I rented a place or I had money in the bank, they're going to count that they're going to count that. Oh, and guess what? Good thing he wasn't in Bay County jail long, because guess what Bay County does? Bay County charges you for being in jail every day. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. So I just thought you might like that. I just thought you might like that information. So that's just crazy to me. That is crazy to me. But again, anybody being abused or anything like that, you can call that 1-800-656-HOPE. It's 1-800-656-4673. We do stand for the victims, but you know I can talk to anybody. Now look, let me turn this music off here because this is mine. Hold on. And then we're going to get to the nitty gritty here. Oh, wait a minute. No, before I do that, y'all got to wait one more minute. Hold on. Before I do that, we got one more thing. Hold on. I got one more thing. I forgot. Hold on. Before we get to the attorney stuff, hold on. Share. Where's my share button? Oh, here it is. Hold on. All right, because I want to see. I think this is. Okay, I want to do this. I hope this is the phone call. Okay, this is Kayla. Okay, hold on.
Well, I know we're getting probably close here on time.
Do you love me?
I love you so much.
Okay.
The most.
Today, we're going to talk about some of the newest Joseph Duggar information. As you all know, it was Easter weekend. I was doing a lot of cooking and prepping and hanging out with family. So we have a lot of things to talk about today. But as usual, make sure you guys subscribe if you're not for Duggar updates and Duggar content. I'm going to be going over the entire Duggar show and doing reactions and videos on the episodes that I watch. So subscribe for that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So what we're going to be talking about today is the newest updates that are surrounding the Joseph Duggar situation. This includes Kendra Duggar's parents launching a GoFundMe to help them pay for legal expenses. We have got to talk about this because this GoFundMe was actually taken down very quickly after it was posted. So when you go to search for the GoFundMe now, you can't find it. So we need to go over this. I have so many things that I want to say about this. On April 4th, which was Saturday, the day before Easter, Kendra's father, Paul Caldwell, launched this GoFundMe. He was asking the community for financial help for his family. We are in need of support to cover legal fees and a secure, safe housing. This has been an incredibly stressful time, and we are doing everything we can to protect ourselves and move forward. The funds raised will go directly toward legal representation to help us navigate the challenges ahead, as well as finding a safe place to live. Both are essential for our well-being and peace of mind. We are grateful for any help, whether it's a donation or simply sharing our story with others who might be able to support us. Thank you so much for your care, concern, and prayers during this difficult time. We have set up this GoFundMe to help cover the unknown expenses of legal fees and housing. Anything you can do to help, even if it's just a prayer, your support means the world to us as we work to rebuild and find safety. This GoFundMe has now been taken down, and they had already received so many donations. And I think once you remove the GoFundMe, to my knowledge, you're not going to get the money for that. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because the home that they were living in was owned by the Duggars. It was sold to them by the Duggars for $10,000, which is obviously a very inexpensive house. So this is basically like a gift. I've seen people say, how is, $10,000 a gift when it comes to a house? But it's like, that's very, very low for housing, especially these days. So the details about the house is in 2021, Kendra and Joe transferred the deed of the home that they had built for themselves to Kendra's parents. Now, this was for only $10,000. However, in February 2025, the county records indicate that the property was transferred back again to Joe and Kendra. Paul and Christina Caldwell is Kendra Duggar's parents, and for a while they had remained silent on what had happened. But this was making a statement, to say the least. Them starting this GoFundMe shows exactly how they feel, accompanied with the jail call, where Kendra was talking to Joseph, and she said that we're having them move out and we're going to hold them to it.
Possible, and then my family says they're moving out in a month, and everybody is gonna hold them to it. Got a lot of.
Sure.
I don't think Chad was thinking they would.
See, what is so funny about that? Well, I mean, seriously, what is so funny about that? And if Val's still in here, I mean, she's choosing him over her kids, her family, everybody. And then they're laughing about it. Do you really have to laugh about it? And she was the first one that laughed about it. I don't see anything funny about that situation. And here's the thing. She may think she's secure and all this, that, and the other, but one day she may be in that situation. One day she may be in that situation and nobody may not have her back. I'm just saying. Be careful what you laugh at.
Needed a business phone right now. I think if
well, I didn't know if...
Line.
Okay, well, I mean...
He's getting everything to his phone and everybody to their phones. So,
okay, so they're able to tap into monitoring.
Yeah.
Are they using Airbnb or Guesty?
I'm logged into both.
Okay, good.
So they can do, they've got both.
Okay, yeah. Guesty does a lot of the automated messages for me already. And so that's why I feel like it's, and then with the website runs through Guesty, so it monitors to make sure we don't get double bookings and all that kind of stuff. Right now we don't have two platforms going. I've actually paused booking.com totally. Right now we'll be getting the income from both of those, and that would be a good
that's what they're wanting to do. Yeah, they want us to get. And do you think we'll make?
It'll be tight.
I guess I don't know.
It'll still be tight, I think, but I think you can make it. It'll be tight, I think, but I think you can make it on that.
Okay.
You're getting a consistent stream that's really important for you. You could just sell, part of it. You just sell maybe the house. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe I can pay the HELOC down and I could take another loan out and build another one or something.
Yeah, because you don't have to secure a new HELOC. All you have to do is just get it down close to. Well, yeah, you just get it close, down to 15,000. If you do that one, like I talked about, it's a lot cheaper to build. I'm fine with selling that tool trailer if we want to just, we can put stuff in that shop area. I was thinking about it a little bit longer. We can sell probably some of those things that are in there, in the pressure wash, the things we don't need. But if we need to do that to sell it to get you some more money, that'd be fine. There's a lot of stuff in it, but
we'll figure it out. We're trying to get the business stuff up and going. I may have some questions for you. I mean, it depends on, I think there's some questions I may have for you down the road.
Actually, I found some new tax laws that apply to our situation.
Possible, and then my family says they're moving out in a month, and everybody is going to hold them to it. Got a lot of...
Sure.
Meaning the Duggar family and Kendra is going to force...
Okay, so y'all can go listen to that, the rest of it yourself. That's Kayla YouTube channel, and y'all can go listen to it yourself. Let me turn this music off now. Go subscribe to her. I got a lot more calls, but I don't know if y'all probably heard them heard them all by now, because I'm a little bit behind, and I've put a couple out. But there's a lot that I want to go over, but we're not going to do that today. So today, I'm just going to show y'all. I'm going to take y'all. Don't pay no attention to my face, honey. I just woke up not long ago, but I'm going to show y'all a little portion of this. Now I'm going to put the camera back down just so y'all know I was in the courtroom the very day and basically run down Al Saleen. And then we're going to get to the email. So we're getting to the juicy part here. It may help answer some questions. It may not. I'm not talking about the video. That wasn't very important. But what is important is what he wrote back last night. So he did keep to his word. And hold on. Uh-oh. Hold on. Can y'all hear? Hold on. Hold on. Talk about the case, but I wondered if you wanted to make a comment. I'm just on YouTube now, and I wondered if you would make a any comment.
Not at this
Friendly.
moment. I just have to get back in front of Judge Clark. But
Okay.
if you want to follow up with me, I'm happy to do such. I know that the family's working on putting everything together. But at this moment, I have Judge Clark on the bench waiting for me on
Okay.
juvenile.
And I will say this: I know you are an excellent attorney.
Well, I certainly
personally.
appreciate that.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I miss one thing. I missed because the bailiff come over. I had permission to be in there
Sure.
with Miss Ashley, but because he was telling me he didn't know about the filming and stuff, so I couldn't hear. What was the bail set at?
So the total is 600,000.
600.
There's 100,000 on the first count and 500,000 on count 2. So it's a total of $600,000. And of course, the standard no contact order is in place. So in the event the family does bond out, there is absolutely no contact in person, through social media, third-party communication as well. And the biggest thing we're asking for, as you heard me say, is that he be treated the same as anybody else in the community. But
Will he be able to leave the state of Florida? Because I know certain rules, like for anybody else, you would be able to get if you want to leave the state, for anybody, you'd be able to go back. Will he be able to go back to Arkansas?
quite frankly, you got the same information we have. He should be allowed to do so. Sometimes that becomes a question between the bondsman and the client. And at this point in time, he hasn't been bonded out. But as far as the court is concerned, I haven't seen any paperwork, but there was nothing announced by the court saying that he must stay in Bay County or Florida, which would be a little unusual considering he doesn't live here in our state.
Sure.
So, but my understanding is he would be fine. Obviously, whatever happens as far as the bond is a civil contract between bondsmen and client. Yep.
Okay. Well, I thank you for your time. I was wondering who he was going to get here. So you're an excellent lawyer. So everybody come see Al Saleen. Okay. All right. Thank you. You have a great day. All right. Thank you. And there you have it, folks. There you have it. Oh, I need to go this way. So y'all heard. And I will be talking to y'all soon. I didn't make it in time enough to get in there. But yes, the bailiff come and told me I couldn't be filming. And the lady, Ashley, from the Bay County Sheriff's Office told him, oh, yes, I could. So I had to turn my camera back on. So I was... everybody has fair representation, and, everybody's innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. So, I'm glad that I got to speak with Al Saleen. He is honestly one of the best, and I do stand with the victims. That's a hard part of any attorney, a defense attorney stands with victims as well, but they don't get to pick and choose. Sometimes it's luck of the draw, and you can't fault them. You cannot fault them. So, it's a hard thing to say. So I do know Al Saleen to be a good guy. You just can't pick and choose. But anyway, so there you have it, folks. The next thing is I wonder if he will make that bond. Okay, so basically we all know he did. Let me get into my email. So I did make a follow-up with him. I did make a follow-up with him, and he followed up with me last night. I guess he was working late. Let me see if I can pull it up here so I can actually read it to you. Okay. I think this is it. Okay. Try to forward it to myself. I don't know why I did that. Okay. How do I hold on a minute. Can y'all see? Hold on a minute. Let me see. Hold on. Can y'all see that or no? I don't know if y'all can see. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to see if y'all can see that. Hold on a minute. Share screen. Okay, hold on. Share screen. How do I share my email? Hold on. Can y'all see that or no? How do I share my email? Anybody know? Oh my God. How do I share my email? It's up there, but I can't remember how to okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. Oh my God. I don't know how to share my email. Oh my God. Anybody know how to share my email? All right, somebody got to help me out here. Image file. Oh, maybe it's image file. Oh, wait. Pictures. Desktop downloads. Save pictures. Windows. What the fuck? Oh, excuse me. What the heck? Oh my God. Okay. I see one time I got it up here. Okay. Okay. Oh God, I don't know how to do it. Okay, I'm trying to download it. But it's taking, when I try to download it. Oh my God, hold on a minute. Let's see. Download. What the heck? Okay, hold on a minute, y'all. Hold on. Let me try to do it through my phone. This is crazy. Just hold on. Can y'all still? Okay, so I'm not sure how you do. Okay, I don't know how to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this. Okay, this is what. Let me. This is what I'm going to do. Forget all that. Okay. Am I froze? Now I'm froze. All right, let me refresh this. Hold on a minute. Let me refresh. This is all kinds of crazy this morning. Sorry, y'all. All right. So anyway, let me get this down. I don't know how to do this. All right, but I want everybody to see this. This is what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to do it on my phone. All right. Let's do this. All right. Hold on just a minute. All right. Joseph Duggar, out. Okay, you're going to see that. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Can y'all, is it too bright? Can see Al Saleen. Shit. Hold on a minute. All right, first of all, let's just do this. Hold on just a minute. Let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Okay. Why is it like that? Can y'all see that or no? Oh my God. What is going on here? There we go. Okay. Y'all see that? You see it now? Okay. What about now? Please tell me you can see it now. At least see that part. Okay. Okay. First of all, that's just showing who it's from. Okay, hold on. Now, I wrote, it's this light. Oh my God, I don't know how to get it. Hold on, it'll take a minute to focus. Anyway, y'all saw that's from him. I'm trying to get it. Good golly. What is going on? Let me turn this. I don't know if that helps or not. Gosh, bless America. All right. I don't know if that helps or not. That's still not going to help. What is going on with my phone and my screen? I don't know, y'all. You can see it? I don't know. I'm going to have to turn this up. Okay. So anyway, let me just read. For God's sakes, I got to turn this light back on. Anyway, y'all get the gist of it, okay? Let me read what it says. All right. I said, okay, so I wrote this on, and I'll post it. I'll post it over on where y'all can see it. But I said, Dear Mr. Saleen, I hope you're doing well. My name is Tammy Story, and I am following up from our brief conversation at the courthouse after the first appearance, where you kindly mentioned you would be open to answering a few follow-up questions. And I truly appreciate your willingness to speak with me. Given the public interest in the case involving your client, Joseph Duggar, I wanted to respectfully ask you if you could provide any clarification on the following. Understanding and fully respecting the limits, what you are able to disclose. At this time, has any plea offer been extended in this case? Which I didn't figure it would because it is too early, but I asked him anyway. So I said, without discussing confidential strategy, is there a plea agreement? Is a plea agreement something you anticipate may be considered? And then I asked him, based on Florida law, if a plea were to occur, would incarceration typically be expected for charges of this nature? Because in the state of Florida, I personally know, I'm telling y'all, I personally know he's going to prison. And I know Al Saleen, and I know that he's already told him, and we seen from his daddy sending them letters to him in prison, They're warning Joseph, you're going to have it hard for a little while. I'm telling you, a good attorney's going to tell him, I'm going to be your attorney, but I'm telling you right now, even with a plea, you're going to get some time out of this. If it's proven, and this is just my opinion, I'm telling y'all, I'm not finished with the questions, but I'm telling y'all, I think, in my opinion, it will get a plea before it goes to trial. But I'm going to tell y'all, in my opinion, on what I know, Joseph has said he's going to take it to trial, which is what most people say early on. But if he takes it to trial, in my opinion, he's a real idiot. He's a real idiot. His star or unstar or was star status is not going to help him one bit, especially here in Bay County. Not when it comes to children. I'm just saying. And if it does, it's going to be luck of the draw. But ain't nobody playing that shit in Bay County. Anyway. And I ask, in general terms, what sentencing range would be possible if a plea or conviction was entered? And then I ask him, will Mr. Duggar be required to return in person when trial proceedings begin? Because, see, I already know he's waived his rights to come back and forth. Al Saleen is going to be in court for him and speak for him anytime there's a court hearing. Therefore, I don't know if I will show up to every court hearing because Mr. Saleen is going to speak for him. Joseph does not have to be present. He waived his right. Okay, that's already in public. So he don't have to be there the 20th. He don't have to come back every time. He don't have to be there. Okay. And then I asked him, does he have to be here for trial XYZ? Okay. So he wants fair treatment. So he's going to get fair treatment. The answer I'm going to get is yes. Just like anybody else. Hell yes, he has to be here. But anyway, we're going to get to the answers in a minute. So based on the current status of the case, do you have an estimated timeline for when you expect to be ready for trial? And do you anticipate any delays or factors that could impact the timing of the trial proceedings? And I said, I appreciate your time, your professionalism, and any information you are able to share with the public. So that tells him right there, I'm already going to put it out in the public. I said, thank you again for speaking with me and for your willingness to follow up. Respectfully, Tammy Story. Everybody knows my name, so it don't matter if I dox myself. And then I put Smiley Stories World, email address, my phone number, which I'm not giving y'all that. And I sent this on Sunday, April 5th, Easter Sunday. So, last night, I was sitting here, and it popped up. Well, he wrote it. He answered me back. Y'all hear my dog Happy snoring? He wrote it at 5:52 p.m. I didn't get it till a little bit after 6, but he wrote it at 5:52 p.m. So he was pounding the pavement, doing his job, working overtime. And I appreciate that. I appreciate him doing the follow-up and responding. I didn't know he was going to answer all the questions, but he answered all of my questions. He said, Miss Story, below, please find answers to your questions. 1, there is no plea offer as the state has not even filed any formal charges. They have so long here to file formal charges. Okay? I'm telling y'all that. That's on anything. We'll get to that in a minute. He said, there's no plea offer. So anyway, there's no plea offer as of yet. Even the state has not even filed any formal charges as of this time. No formal charging document has been filed, such as information or a grand jury indictment. Okay, that's what he's telling me. There is no requirement for the state to issue a plea offer, though it is normal for the state to issue such. So they don't have to issue him a plea bargain, okay? They absolutely do not have to give him a plea bargain. They will probably offer him one, in my opinion. They don't have to. It depends on what they got, how strong their case is, and what they think. But they don't have to give him one, or they could offer him one, and he can also turn it down. It's a game of chess, people. And then they don't have to offer him another one, or they could offer him one that very day. They could offer him 3 or 4. He could think he's got them by the hair of the head, and so on. He could take his attorney's advice and whatever the attorney thinks, or he could be a hard head and not listen. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But he said, to answer number 3, Florida has a score sheet. This is what I've told y'all before. Okay. Florida has a score sheet formula, which is used to calculate sentencing. So what he's telling me is this, and I want to read it word for word what he said, but I want to stop and tell y'all, this is how you know how many years or whatever you're going to get for whatever crimes or whatever. Of course, Joseph don't have any. He don't have a record in Florida, but they're probably going to take what he does have in Arkansas, a little bit. I don't know what those hold. Those are misdemeanors or whatever. But anyway, and they'll take what he got in Bay County. They're going to put them together and score. It's like a math sheet. Okay. Florida has a score sheet formula, which is used to calculate sentencing with exceptions, of course. We do not have a score sheet, but charges this significant, this is important, charges this significant normally do score a lowest permissible sentence. Okay? With no, and this is answer to number 4, with no formal charges having been filed, it is difficult to provide a range of potential sentencing. So he don't know yet because there's been no formal charges filed. Okay. Should there be a trial, then Mr. Duggar would have to be present in the courtroom. The same is true if there were ever to be a plea bargain for a felony offense. So even if he got a plea bargain, he's going to have to bring his butt back down here. He can't just have Mr. Saline to keep doing this for him and him not showing up. At some point, if there's a plea bargain, he has to come stand in front of the judge, take accountability, and plea out. There's no videos. He's going to have to come and face it. Okay, he's going to have to plea to it, or he's going to have to come stand trial in person. No matter if it's 1 day, 1 week, or a month, it don't matter. Then that's when I will definitely be there. Number 7, he said, with no formal charges filed at this time, I cannot predict a timeline for resolution for the case. So he don't know when it will be solved. He don't know when they're going to be charged, when they'll go to court, or if there will be any delays. And then he said, number 8, with no formal charges filed at this time, I cannot predict any delays. And then he said, it was nice seeing you in the courthouse last week. And then he said, we have a mutual person. And he said, tell them I trust they are doing well. And then he said, have a nice evening. Sincerely, Al. So I thought that was nice of him to respond and do the follow-up like he said. And I just told him I really appreciate him doing the follow-up, and I thanked him for that. And that was that. So, I told him, I appreciate that. I hope that, it answers some of my questions. And I told him I hope that answers some viewers' questions. And y'all know me, I ask questions that may sound silly to others, but I try to think of stuff that people probably don't ask or think to ask. And I just try to ask stuff off the top of my head. And that's just that. We here stand for the victims, but one thing with me, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And I want to hear both sides. I want to hear everything. And if y'all have anything you want to tell me or want to get me for me to get out, I will keep you anonymous. I will not say, and you can email me and just simply say, don't say who told you, and I will never say. It's that simple. Or if you have something you want to share online or you want to speak on, I will give you a platform to speak on. It's that simple. And I will do it with respect, no matter who you are. Period. So, for that, my dog is really getting into her deep sleep now, and she's really starting to snore loud. So, I appreciate y'all. I thank you for your time. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, that's all free. Share the video. And at the end of this video, you can hype it. Make sure you hype it up. And let's try to get that goal of, I think I said 20 or 25 by June 15th, which is my birthday. And let's get this out. Let's get going and quit playing around, y'all. Let's quit playing. All right. And I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. And thank you for being here. All right. I will see you in the streets. YouTube streets, that is. Bye. Thank you, mods.